Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test server, and that is right guys, we have our new hero that is up. We're going to go ahead and test it, but I did want to go over some of the additions that we've seen with the changes on the test server, with the patch that is coming up on Global on Tuesday. Now, when you copy formations, this is a really cool addition, guys. Like we said before, in here is when you're copying these formations, it is now going to include artifact/collection configurations. That is right, guys. The collections are now going to be incorporated in here. Now, before, of course, we didn't have the ability to go ahead and get those collections. So if you're copying formations in the current global servers, you actually wouldn't have the ability to get the collections. It wouldn't copy them. You would be stuck with whatever random stuff was on there. Now, in addition, guys, I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work when it comes to the collections, because essentially, if let's say, for instance, you have the collection of Zorath, and the formation that you're copying has Zorath in there. And of course, when you do copy that formation, you have 12 variations of the Zorath artifact. Don't know exactly how that's going to work and which one it's going to, if it's just going to be random, to go ahead and equip those artifacts onto your heroes. Now, in addition, guys, there is a new Dolly dialogue. A lot of players have been talking about this, guys. So looking right here, the new Dolly dialogue reads as such. It is said that after the Barred Gate was invaded by the Hippos, she traveled all over the world trying to reunite the Celestials. So with that being said, guys, some players said that when there was the fight, that this hero was a Celestial. So I am hoping, guys, looking at Gavis, looking at Eugene, that they are not going to do another Celestial hero, because I think that would be absolutely crazy right now to go ahead and drop another Celestial hero. Now, in addition from the patch, guys, we do have some things coming up on the calendar. Battle of Blood, of course, is coming up. The Trial of Sage, which, of course, is the new Voyage of Wonder that we have. But the Bountiful Trials for the new hero is up as well. So let's hop over here, guys. I want to check out the Bountiful Trials. Now, when it comes to a tank, it is very difficult to test a tank in here with the survivability aspect. And a lot of players also say that I do not put it on a high enough level. So we know we start at 360, and you know what? We're going to really test this tank, guys, because we're going to go in here, and I don't want to assign the level. I know I can. It bugs out on BlueStacks for whatever reason. So again, we start at 360. 560 gives us a 200 level deficiency. So I'm going to actually go to 610. And again, thinking about the combat in here, thinking about the hero, that gives us what? A 250 level deficiency. There are going to be some game modes where it might be a little bit higher, where you're running a deficiency. But overall, guys, running a 250 is pretty decent. I know we could go 300 plus, but I want to see what exactly this is going to look like. And you can see in here, guys, that most of them, it just put us with the one single hero. So I want to see from the tanking aspect exactly how strong he is going to be, and kind of see the crowd control aspect. Now, a lot of players were wondering about the 5-pull. So interesting enough, guys, with this hero, we do see, and we could see, a possible combination of a 5-pull. We do have Vika in there. Let's put Scrath in there. And again, this is something that some people were talking about. So this is going to be the 5-pull. Now, we know that Scrath is going to do the crowd control. We also know that Vika is going to do the crowd control. Then we also know that the new Wilder hero is going to do the exact same, guys, that we are going to see that crowd control that he possesses. So it's going to be an interesting combination of all these heroes and seeing kind of how this works at a big deficiency. Now, of course, guys, Orin coming right over. And again, I thought that was going to be the case, that they were just going to get rocked. But look at the crowd control, guys. Now, again, looking at Vika, Vika has a little bit of crowd control, but wondering kind of how this tank is going to perform. And looking even there, that was a pretty good tanking. I mean, 258 million right there from the tank. And that's kind of what I wanted to test, and what I wanted to see in this formation is, what is it going to look like for the tank, and what is it going to look like in different scenarios where we do have the tank. Now, overall, guys, I feel like Orin, we might have to run Zorath in here. We might have to swap it up a little bit. I know a lot of combination in here did run with Leica, but even looking here, guys, look at the crowd control. I like the crowd control aspect that this tank puts out. Let's drop a Zorath in here. And again, this is kind of a combination that a lot of players did run, because of course this is going to bring the delay in here to bring them together, to pull everybody in there. and of course, bring them all together with Skarath. Goes down pretty quick right there. And of course, the banish went on to Vika. So let me see if we can even do, and again, this is an old school combination, guys, is the Leica combination, the Leica Zorath. So you have the haste coming in and the delay, of course, there from Zorath coming in. So literally you pull everybody in, but this doesn't work super effective. And a lot of these are based on the teams. But again, guys, the tank is alive. Based on Orin, based on Tassie, this isn't a good combination at all to utilize for the 5-pole because Iran teleports, Tassie teleports. But look at this, guys. This is what I wanted to test. Look at the crowd control. If you can lock them down like this, that is going to be a really, really cool. Bringing them in, holding them. Wow. And this, again, this is exactly what I was kind of thinking, is the ability to generate a lot of damage as a tank based on the crowd control aspect. So you know what? Let's swap this to another formation that we're not going to see. See, there's Thane, there's Kasos, there's Mahira. Let's swap this to 3, and I want to see what it looks like for heroes that are not going to be crazy teleport, that are going to be brought together like this. There we go. There's the crowd control, guys. Now it's just going to be a matter of time that they're essentially just burned and worked down, because that crowd control stays up for such an extended amount of time. You're kind of locking down everybody with the crowd control aspect in there, which is really cool to see. Again, that's kind of what I was thinking with this hero, guys, is that big crowd control aspect. Now, in addition, guys, thinking of the heroes itself and looking at some of the formations that we run in here, again, it's going to be kind of unique how they go together. And I think even some combinations, like looking at Oden, looking at a couple of heroes that are going to bring and keep everyone together, it's going to be interesting. Because, guys, he gets a massive shield buff in there. Then, of course, Oden gets the buff. But there's the crowd control that comes up. And again, with his crowd control, pulls them together and just locks everybody down. That is really cool to see, guys. I am pretty impressed with the tank. Again, a lot of game modes probably not going to have the same functionality. I could see them locking down some. Now, the big thing with this tank, some formations, of course, locking it down. But the big thing with this tank is we're not seeing buffs. When you look at Naruko, when you look at another, a couple other heroes that have a lot of that crowd control aspect, but also the buffing that they bring to teams, makes a big difference. And of course, guys, Oden in here trying to deal with Warwick, just being teleported back and back. And that's pretty cool how literally the bear, but we're not getting through the shield. We probably won't get through the shield. I think this one, we're just going to run out of time out of there. Still have Silas's little heel that's flying around. But overall, in Warwick's triple dance right there, that was pretty cool. So again, it's going to be interesting to see that crowd control aspect that he brings. Now let's see some of the, I'm wondering, like with Liberta, again, some of the regular formations that we see, like Liberta and Zemia, a very strong combination. We can even drop, you know, some more tanks in here. We could do Atheus in here. We could do a lot of different things with this hero and seeing exactly. And again, I'm trying to think kind of regular formations that we see. And of course, this one just gets literally overrun. But I'm thinking ones that we see on a regular basis that would work incredibly well. And even here, guys, the tanking aspect. So Liberta goes down pretty quick. But look at the crowd control, guys. Got to get them together. Got to get them stacked up to really get this hero. But the mitigation is there. That's the big thing, guys. Even looking here, the mitigation and also survivability, crowd control is definitely there for this hero. We're going to have to see exactly where this is going to come in. Again, I'm thinking like a hero like Tamaris, a few different formations where we're going to see this. Of course, is going to add a lot of mitigation, but Tamaris is going to add crowd control. Then if we can stack his crowd control on top, to literally keep everyone together. I feel like that's going to be a pretty strong combination overall. Any of these heroes that are just going to dominate that crowd control aspect that he brings. It's getting thrown around on the side, just getting run over here. But I like him. I do like the tank. And again, tanking heroes, guys, overall, they have to find their niche. They have to find the utility of where they're going to go in formations. And I like the 5-pole with him. And I wonder, even putting Queen in there, putting a couple different heroes really in this formation to make it work. Even thinking like Baden in there, Brutus in there to kind of put everyone and keep everyone together. Just the ability to lock down heroes, to really go through, to really lock them down. And I'm wondering if, like, the damage that Kren is putting up, a couple different heroes in here, just thinking of the pushback, the knockback, because of course he does have a little bit of a pushback as well, which I definitely like to see. And again, this team I know doesn't put out an incredible amount of damage. But over there, guys, grouping them up, then boom, densely populated. There's the crowd control aspect. Going to keep them all together. Brutus is going to keep them together. And just locking them down, guys. Campaign, absolutely. Tower formations, absolutely. Question is he going to make a big difference in the PvP aspect? Because if you are closing, or if you are essentially just locking down entire areas with a tank that has a decent amount of survivability, that's going to be a very interesting combination. That is really, again, looking at some of our tanks in here. What's it going to look like from a buffing aspect? What is it going to look like from that crowd control aspect, that point of view? So, of course, guys, Belinda gets rocked with Orin, which, again, depending on who you fight, this is where the campaign formations and things of that nature are very, very subjective onto the teams you're running, the Thor and Cheese, things like that. It's very subjective, because if you have a hero directly opposite a specific hero, going to make a difference, guys. But look at the crowd control. Just Grez sitting down here all by himself, moves a little bit, AoE stun. So does just an AoE lockdown. And even here, guys, we have a lot of damage coming from Ty Lee over here. Look at that, 850 million. Wow, there was a ton of damage. And you know what? Let's do this one more time. And I'm thinking here, let's swap Jerome up here. Or you know what? Let's even go with Rosaline and Belinda. I'm wondering exactly how this one is going to look. Now, I don't switch around the artifacts, all that stuff. Right there. So they're all on the tank, guys. Because Cecilia came right over, and he holds his own, as he is a tank for sure. Yeah, 807 million. That is kind of crazy. He does put up some pretty solid numbers. And again, thinking crowd control wise, even like a Khazard. And I'm wondering the duration extension for that crowd control piece that we have. That could be a very, very strong combination to keep these heroes together in the formation. Just to kind of lock down. I don't know. Again, boom, there's the crowd control. Again, with Orin, I forgot about that. But I'm wondering the crowd control formation, if this is going to work. Because remember, we're extending the duration of his branches. This, of course, is going to give you a 50% extension on the crowd control that he is putting out. Then, of course, the energy regeneration. The branches essentially are going to stay up the entire battle. Yeah, I mean, it's literally just going to lock them down. Keeps pulling them closer and closer. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I'm wondering also like a Moriel that would keep them all together. And again, I wonder where this is going to go with that pulling in closer with that crowd control. Of course, got to keep them alive first, but yeah, again, with that crowd control. Yeah, look at the healing and the damage, guys. He's back to full. Wow. That is very, very cool. Look at this. He has the whole team. There, I believe all 5 heroes are still up. I don't even think he killed anyone. No, I think Hendrik, well, Hendrik was just locked down. That is very, very cool, guys. That we have the hero to really do have that ability to lock out everyone in their entirety. Even they're keeping the heroes up because Ard goes down because he usually always does. But even here, just bringing out that crowd control. And with the damage that Demia puts out, guys, and Amelia, you're just going to slowly buy time until you take down the targets. And that's exactly what he does. Yeah, look at that, guys. Almost 1 billion damage right there. And just a lockdown from the tank. Sorry, guys. So that's going to do it for today's video. I like him. I like him in the Wilder Tower. I think he's going to be really effective. We're going to have to see exactly where he is used. Now, damage overall, I mean, decent damage overall for having him built. But again, we're going to have to see exactly where he works. But that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.